Hare Krishna. We'll sing a bhajan, Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. Because Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, when he departed from this planet, the last bhajan which he heard was this Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. For his pleasure, we will sing this bhajan. We'll read the translation first.
And they are perfection worthy of attainment. They are the very law of the Vedic scriptures for me. They are the meaning of all my fasts and penances and my silent uttering of my mantras. They are the basis of religion and activities.
Devotion service. One will attain perfection and with these two eyes be able to see. His transcendental form is shining like moonlight in my heart, and my heart therefore shines and reciprocates. In other words, the ordinary moon lights up the night and its shines illuminates other objects, but the moon of the effulgence of the form of Sri Rupa Manjari shines into the heart and makes the heart also shine back to the spiritual sky. This moon shines not only in the night time, but the day and night.
For my vision is like a dose of strong poison, and I will suffer till the end of my life. Narottam Das Thakur says, please give me your mercy and the shade of your lotus feet. Srila Narottam Das Thakur ki.
Se mora sampada se mor bhajan pujana se mora rasanidhi, se mora vancha siddhi, se mor vedera dharma. Se vrata se tapa, se mora mantra japa, se mor dharma karama. Anukula have vidhi, se pade hoibe siddhi nirakibo e dui nayane. Se rupa madhuri rase prana kuvalaya shashi prafullita verishidine. Tua darshana hai garale jaralo de chirodina tapita jivana. Harupa korodaya deho more padachaya narottama loilo sharana. Narottama loilo sharana. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Vaishnav Thakur, Jai Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Jai Vaishnav Thakur. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Srila Prabhupada. श्रील भक्तिसिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की, श्री नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया। भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती इति नामिने। श्रीवासुदेवानवे देवे दयिताय कृपाब्दे कृष्णसम्बन्धविज्ञानदायिने प्रभवे नमः। माधुर्योज्ज्वल प्रेमाढ्य श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिदा श्रीगौरकरुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमस्तुते। नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्ते दीनतारिणे रूपानुगविरुद्ध अपसिद्धान्तध्वान्तहारिणे। नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्बरसाम्बोधे पादाम्बोजाय ते नमः। नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवराय ते। गौर आविर्भावभूमिस्त्वं निर्देष्टा सज्जनप्रियः वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तिशक्तिकं। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। जयतां सरतौ पङ्गोर्मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्व पादाम्भोजौ राधा मदनमोहनौ दिव्यद्वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमाढः श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवौ प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानुस्मरामि। श्रीमान् सरसारम्भे वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षणवेणु स्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रीयस्तनः तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी शुभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Today is a very auspicious, the most auspicious day the disappearance day of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. On the occasion, I seek blessings from all the devotees to be able to speak something for the glorification of such an exalted Acharya and for our purification. Once Srila Prabhupada was asked by one disciple, "Please tell me something about your spiritual master." And Srila Prabhupada said, "What can I talk about my spiritual master? He was a Vaikuntha man." That was Prabhupada's answer. He was a Vaikuntha man. And similarly, Srila Prabhupada was a Vaikuntha man. So, as Shastras give example that the bird can fly to the heights according to the ability or the wing strength. Similarly, various person can speak, but to speak about such an Acharya like Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, it is beyond the capacity of a conditioned soul. But when we speak, when we hear about such Acharyas, it gives self-purification. And Krishna is pleased by that. The goal of spiritual life is to please Krishna. So, Shastras proclaim that the purification achieved by glorifying Krishna's devotees is higher than the purification achieved by glorifying Krishna. So for same purpose, we glorify such acharyas on the days of appearance and disappearance day. Though we every time hear, twice a year we hear about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but every time we hear, we feel more enthused, we feel more blessed. When we speak about any Acharya, for example, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, it is very much intertwined and connected to the Acharyas before and after. Like when we speak about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we automatically get attracted to speak about Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Gaur Das Babaji Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada. So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started the Sankirtan movement, and after Mahaprabhu's departure, 200 years later, after Mahaprabhu's departure, the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come to wrong hands, and the Sahajiya's lines have started. 13 Upper Sampradayas had started. And it was very state of very sorrow, so much to the extent that people were ashamed of becoming a Vaishnava or being called a Vaishnava. Or sometime when some son is not doing well, is not good in studies, is little dull, then the parents would say, better you go and become a Vaishnava. जैसे आजकल बोलते हैं कि जाके भैंस चराओ या गाय चराओ, useful for nothing. Similarly, people would feel ashamed of being called as Vaishnava. But that time, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur appeared, and then he re-established the dignity of Vaishnavism. And there were people who were claiming themselves to be God, like Bishak Sen. He claimed that he is God, and he would do all kinds of socially unacceptable things. And Britishers approached Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur rectified that person. And he was going to arrest the person, but everybody was so fearful. Everybody was thinking that he is really an incarnation of Vishnu. So nobody would dare to challenge him, to go against him. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur was very clear from the Shastras. He had full faith that incarnation of the Lord is mentioned in the Shastras. Nobody upstart person can claim to be incarnation of God. So he was very strong, very, very emphatic about following Shastras. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur went and took 2 Muslim policemen because Hindus were very afraid. That was the reputation of Bishak Sen that time. And when Bhaktivinoda Thakur went to arrest him, this person had mystic powers, so he understood that Bhaktivinoda Thakur has come. And he told that, Kedarnath Dutt, why you have come here? I know for what purpose you have come. Very soon I am going to throw the Britishers away from this country, and I am going to become the king. And I will share the kingdom with you if you follow me. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur was very firm. He knew Shastras. He had firm faith in Krishna and Shastras. So he told the policeman to arrest him. And then he was arrested and taken to jail. The trial was going on. When the court case was going on, in a few days, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's wife and children, they got very, very sick. And everybody started spreading rumor that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Kedarnath Dutt, has really offended an incarnation of Vishnu. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur had firm faith. So the trial was going on. He himself also became very sick. And to the extent that when it was a day to write the judgment, on that day, his right side became paralyzed. But still in that state, he wrote the judgment. But in the due course of time, after a few days, this impostor he himself committed suicide. So like that, Bhaktivinoda Thakur re-established. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote more than 100 literatures in Bengali, Odia, English, and he also sent the English literatures to foreign universities in the year 1896. It was that historic year when Srila Prabhupada also appeared, and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had predicted also that a commander-in-chief of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come and he will take the message of Sankirtan movement to the foreign land. So, after some time, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he had established Namhatta, Bhakti Vriksha, and very strong presence of Vaishnavism to its proper dignified position, but he was concerned that I need somebody who can continue this legacy. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur prayed to Krishna that please send me a ray of Vishnu, somebody from your own entourage who can take this message ahead. And when Bhaktivinoda Thakur was appointed as a deputy magistrate in Jagannath Puri, Jai Shri Radha Madhav ki, Jai Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maiya ki, Shri Gaur Nitai ki. When Bhaktivinoda Thakur was posted as a district magistrate, deputy magistrate in Jagannath Puri, he rectified many improper practices. And it was there in Jagannath Puri that when Jagannath Rath would come, it would stop in front of the magistrate's place. So the Ratha stopped there in front of the Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house. And all the efforts were made. They got the elephants, they got horses, they got wrestlers, builders, but nobody was able to move the Ratha. So ultimately when wife of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhagavati Devi, saw that the Ratha has come, Jagannath Ji has come, so she took this opportunity that a small baby, Bimala Prasad, was taken to the cart of Jagannath, and the garland fell from Jagannath and encircled the baby Bimala Prasad. And that was an indication. And for Bhaktivinoda Thakur, this was confirmation. This is the reply or reciprocation of Lord to the prayer which I had made, that please send me someone from your own entourage, a ray of Vishnu. So when Bimala Prasad, who is going to be later on called as Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he appeared, his umbilical cord was wrapped around his body like a Brahmin thread. So all the 32 great symptoms of a great personality were visible, and it is a custom that when the baby is born, then the horoscope is made and then the chart is read out. So it was prophesied from the appearance day of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bimala Prasad, that this child, he'll grow up and do dharma prachar in such a way that nobody has done till now. And he will establish Vaishnavism to a very high level of respect and dignity. And when he was born like this, there was arrangement that Bhagavatam is kept and the wealth is kept, and immediately Bimala Prasad, he went and embraced Bhagavatam. Why name Bimala Prasad? Because Bhagavati Devi was praying to Bimala Devi. If you go to Jagannath Puri, there is a temple, and there is also a Bimala Devi temple. So Bhagavati Devi was praying that please give us a blessing of Bimala Devi, Bimala Prasad. So this child was accepted as blessings, Prasad of Bimala Devi. As Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur started growing up, when he was 1 year old, he was not able to speak also properly. He was not able to walk also properly. But then he saw that there was a crow sitting there, and then he composed a prayer, just looking at the crow. Growing further, he was very illustrious in his studies. At the age of 5 years, he invented a language called Becanto. He had his own script, Becanto. These are the scripts which are used for taking notes by reporters. But similarly, he invented a language. When he was very small, once somebody brought mangoes to offer to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And when the mangoes were given, Bimala Prasad took the mango, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked him, was the mango offered to Krishna, to Jagannath Ji? And the mangoes were not offered. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur told him that this is an offense to Krishna. We should eat only things which are offered to Krishna. This was not offered. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he took this vow at a very small age, that because I am offender to Lord Vishnu, to Lord Krishna, so I will not eat mangoes throughout my whole life. So Srila Prabhupada recalls that when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disciples also would bring mangoes sometime as an offering, he would not accept. He would say that I am an offender to Krishna, so I cannot accept mangoes. And such determination we should also have. We take some vow for bhakti and we should stick to it. Prabhupada gave us basics, very simple, not basic, very simple method. Chanting Hare Krishna mantra at least 16 rounds and following 4 regular principles. We should be very firm. We should take it very to the heart, strictly following it. And as he was growing further, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was digging the land for making house. And one Kurma Shila was found, Kurma deity was found. So this Kurma Shila was given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur for worship. And also Narasimha mantra was given. So with a lot of devotion, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was worshipping the deity. So Shila, Kurma Shila, and also he was chanting Narasimha mantra. And at the age of 7 years, he could remember, he memorized all the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita and many more literatures. He would give classes also. Because they are not ordinary personalities, they are directly coming from Krishna's personal associate. They are personal associates of Krishna. So at the age of just 10 years, he could do all this. At 7 years, he could memorize shlokas and he could also give classes. And at the age of 22 years, he left his college and he went to Tripura. The king of Tripura was very much impressed. And then king of Tripura appointed him as a teacher for teaching his children. But eventually after some time he left that also work. He did not want to teach further. He would just want to focus on Krishna and preaching the message of Krishna. But then king of Tripura said that, okay, honorarily we will give you a pension. You don't work for us, but we will give you pension. But that also eventually he refused. When in those days, Srila Gaur Krishnadas Babaji was residing in Brajdham, Vrindavan. But when he heard that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is there, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji is there, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, all these devotees are there, they are doing this discussion of Bhagavad Dharma. So Gaur Krishnadas Babaji left Vrindavan and he came to Navadvip Mayapur to take association of such exalted devotees, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. So when the time of initiation came, Bhaktivinoda Thakur told his son, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, that you go and take initiation from Gaur Krishnadas Babaji. And this was the time when all the time everybody wants to make disciple, and especially some are behind just to have fame, have such disciples who are illustrious. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was so illustrious, so intelligent, so devotional. Everybody wanted to make him as their own disciple. But when Bhaktivinoda Thakur told that you go and take initiation from Gaur Krishnadas Babaji, everybody was shocked. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur went to Gaur Krishnadas Babaji and begged him, please give me initiation, please give me diksha. And Gaur Krishnadas Babaji said, no, I don't know, I don't give initiation, I don't accept disciples, I will have to go and ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So please come tomorrow, I will ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and let you know. And next morning, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur went and asked Gaur Krishnadas Babaji, so did you ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And he said, no, I forgot to ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So these are great exalted Vaishnavas. They could speak to Krishna, to the deities also directly, face to face. And just taking off the topic a little bit, there was Vamshadas Babaji. So he had his Gaur-Nitai deities, and he would treat his Gaur-Nitai deities in such a high level of devotion. He would wear them in the neck. Sometime for giving Abhishek, he would put the deities in the river, in the Ganga river, and thus bring them up. And then sometimes he would not put the lock to the doors. Once somebody stole the silver vessels which were used for the offering to the deities. And he started chastising the deities. You cannot take care of your own vessels. What kind of person are you? I am here, I am old man. And then somebody brought one vessel and brought it back, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Nityananda Prabhu. Then Vamshidas Babaji said, because he got his vessel back, so I'll give him offering, but I'll not give you offering. You find your vessels and then I'll give you offering. So that was the kind of devotion they had. The reciprocation, the face-to-face talk directly, it is impossible for us to comprehend. So similarly, Gaur Krishnadas Babaji, he told that I forgot to ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please come tomorrow. I will ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and let you know. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur went. And after a few days, they were standing on the bridge on the river. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that if you don't give me initiation, then I will commit suicide. And then Gaur Krishnadas Babaji saw that he has determination. So then he gave Diksha to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He gave the hat and then one tiger skin and some ashes, not ashes, it's the dust, the dust of Navadvip Dham. So that was initiation of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And as he was growing further, he was making such a progress, he was preaching Sanatana Dharma. But real glory came when it was the time when Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who was preaching and upholding the Sanatana Dharma to its dignity, when he was invited once to assembly of Brahmanas, he had to go and there was nobody qualified because he was feeling very sick, he was not able to go. So he told his son Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that you go and represent Vaishnavas, because those days Vaishnavas were considered very, very downtrodden. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur went and he, in the 3 days of debate, he glorified first day how Brahmanas are great. The society is incomplete without Brahmanas. Brahmanas are the head of the society. Chaturvarnyam Maya system. So hearing this, all the Brahmanas were very much elated. They were feeling very happy, very eulogized. And second day when the debate started, then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur started establishing how Vaishnavas are also very important. They are equal to Brahmanas. They have all the qualities of the Brahmana, best of the Brahmanas. And then Brahmanas were feeling little morose and Vaishnavas were very happy. In the third day when the debate started, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur established that how Vaishnavas are even superior to Brahmanas. And hearing this, all the Brahmanas, they slowly started escaping. And ultimately the real prestige of Vaishnavas was established in that assembly. And hearing this, all the Vaishnavas came forward and they wanted to touch the lotus feet of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But he was very reluctant, he was very, very humble. So he was running away, but then the police approached and said that this is the only way is you have to allow them to touch their lotus feet. Otherwise there will be a trampede, many will die. But then there was arrangement done that there was bucket of water brought. The lotus feet of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was put in the bucket of water. And that water was put in another big barrel. And that the magnified amount of Charanamrit was distributed to everybody. It was the way, the real glory. Bhaktisiddhanta, because when he was very young, at the age of 16 years, he had translated a book called Surya Siddhanta, decoded and then translated to English, which nobody could translate earlier from Sanskrit. It is a book about the astrology, astronomy. And Prabhupada remarks that my spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada never said like that. Prabhupada said that Om Vishnupad Paramahams Parivrajakaacharya Ashtottara Satasya Śrīmad. His divine Guru Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was the last authentic bona fide astrologer on the planet. So he was mastermind, nobody could match him. Because he translated that book, Surya Siddhanta, from Sanskrit to English, he was given the title Siddhanta. And later on, because of this work, when he was given the post of head of the department in Kolkata University, he refused it because that will attract so much of responsibility, so much of engagement in other things other than Krishna, and so much of prestige. It will attract so much prestige, respect. I do not want all these things. So he rejected that post of head of the department. But at times, when situations came, he followed also astrology, but not becoming dependent on it. Just like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would not travel on Thursdays or Wednesdays, one of the days. He would not travel on Thursday. Even he had to travel on Thursday, what he would do, on Wednesday night he would keep the bag outside and then travel. But he would emphasize that we should not depend on the astrology. We can use it, but we cannot depend on it. We can use it as a helpful tool in the service of Krishna. But we should depend on Krishna, we should surrender to Krishna and have more faith there. After some time, when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur passed away, Srila Gaur Krishnadas Babaji passed away, gradually, slowly, he was feeling all alone. So he took a vow that going to Brajdham, going to Navadvip Dham, he would chant 192 rounds every day. For 10 years he would do this, and then he would start the preaching. But after some time, after a few years, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the Panchatattva, all the previous acharyas, they came to the dream and told that you have not come here for this purpose, for doing this austerities. Go and start the preaching. We are all with you. All Guru Parampara is with you. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, after some time, he started preaching. He immediately took a sannyas. So before that, what happened is, he would go to different people and he would request that please help me for preaching Sanatana Dharma. Once he went to one person in Kolkata and requested, please help me for preaching Sanatana Dharma. And he was expressing a strong urgency. And he was also sometime found in the bushes of Navadvip Dham, roaming like a madman. So people who consider he's not in the social customs. But after some time, when he took sannyas and went to meet the same people like the court judge, so people were shocked that apparently he was a madman before some time, and now he has come as a sannyasi, very strong sannyasi to preach. So when he took sannyas from the picture of his spiritual master Srila Gaur Krishnadas Babaji, for whom he was the only disciple, first thing he did is establish a printing press. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did not establish a matha or temple. He installed a printing press. In fact, if we go to any Gaudiya matha, then there is strong emphasis on book printing, which Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur started in the beginning. And even to the extent that the logo of Gaudiya Math had the printing press in it. Maybe somebody, I had shared once in the group, somebody had, we can share, mirror it if we have later on, we can screen it and show it. So printing press logo, it was included in the logo also, printing press. Now that strong emphasis Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had on printing books. He said that all the things, Prabhupada said later on that all the things I have learned in devotional life is from my father, Gaur Mohan Ray, but only the book printing I have learned from my spiritual master. So he pioneered book printing and book distribution. He was a very, very strong preacher. The preaching spirit was very strong. In the year 1922, when there was historical meeting of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Prabhupada, in the first meeting, as we hear regularly hundreds of times, that before Prabhupada even could get up after paying obeisances, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur instructed that because you are well educated English speaking young man, take this message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the Western world and preach in English language. And Prabhupada responded that India is not yet an independent nation. Who will hear the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? To which Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told that this message is so urgent and important that it cannot wait for the political future of any nation. And then Prabhupada felt that first time he was defeated and he felt very happy about it. And he felt that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message is in the right hands, safe hands. We can see here on the right side there is a printing press also. Right side, left side, I can't see. If Mridangam, yes, with Mridangam on the right side down there is printing press also. See, on the left side there is a Panchratra Vidhi. On the left side Panchratra Vidhi, right side is Bhagavatam. You see, Bhagavatam, opposite to Bhagavatam is on the left side Panchratra literatures, on the right side is Bhagavatam literature. On the right side is Rag Marg, Radha Krishna. On the left side is Vidhi Marg and Lakshmi Narayan. On the right side, if you go down, Kirtan, Mridanga and printing press literatures. On the left side is Archana Vidhi. Gaudiya mission. So strong emphasis on printing of the books. So I was hearing from His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhu that he was feeling so much urgency that when Prabhupada paid obeisances and before Prabhupada gets up, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur thought that I do not know how much time I will have to speak. So let me tell the most important instruction right in the first talk. So the first immediately he told that take the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the Western world. He was very strong in preaching. He established 64 Gaudiya Mathas, which included one in Germany, Burma, and one more country. Three international and 61 Gaudiya Mathas in Bharat. He was known as Acharya Keshari because he was like a lion. Simha Guru, as commonly called Simha Guru, but actually the name given was Acharya Keshari. Keshari means the lion, because he was preached like a lion, and all the impersonalists, Mayavadis, they would fear coming in front of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also. If Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is walking on the road, and if somebody is coming who doesn't accept the philosophy of Vaishnavism, they would change the side and go away out of fear. That's the pranam mantra of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also says, Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine, Rupanuga Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine. Anyone who does not accept the teachings is badly defeated. Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine. So that is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Once he was on the terrace of, not once, many times, he would go on the terrace at midnight, terrace of Gaudiya Math, and he would just shout, is there anybody? Koi hai yahan? Anyone here? And if somebody says, yes, I am such and such, I am such, who is there? So if somebody says that I am such and such, then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would say that, are you talking about body or soul? And then would start preaching. So that was his preaching spirit. And once he was in a country, not appropriate to mention the name right now, he sent his disciples for preaching, and the way Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was preaching, his disciples were preaching, the locals were very much angry, and they were not giving any donations or anything. So the disciples asked Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that, Gurudev, nobody is supporting us, nobody is giving us any donation or fruits or anything. How will we preach? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur replied that eat mud but preach. Eat mud but preach. And there are 108 instructions, important essential instructions of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. We will read some of them towards the end. That was his preaching spirit. Ballal Dighi is a place in Mayapur where the first post office was established, because the need was felt. Before Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, no letters would come. Hardly, rarely any letter. But after Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur started Gaudiya Math, Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, then so many letters, every day hundreds of letters would come. And for handling of that, this post office was established here. He was the first Acharya to travel in the cars, first Vaishnava Acharya to step in the car. He would go in the suit, about sannyas dress, he would go in the blazer, in the shoes, sit in the car. In those days having a Rolls Royce, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he would ride in the Rolls Royce, and he would go to Radha Kund and stop the car, and he would sit on the dashboard. What do we call that in front? Bonnet. That the space in front above the engine. He would sit on that, and because just to look at the expensive car, people would come attracted, and he would start giving the class on Bhagavatam. Once he was in Radha Kund, when such arrangement was made, everybody expected that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would speak some esoteric pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur started speaking about Sri Ishopanishad and Nectar of Instructions, how to control senses. So he was very much strong that we should be strong in philosophy and practice very, very strongly, practice strictly. His preaching spirits was amazing. Srila Bhakti Vikas Maharaj has written this 3-volume book. This is a result of 21 years of hard work of compiling things, interviews and many. So that book, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhav, that book describes many pastimes. One of the pastimes I heard is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had unique techniques of preaching. He would take the Britishers also for lunch in the steamer. He would arrange a steamer, and in the river, in the Ganga river in Howrah, Kolkata, he would take them in the lunch in the steamer, and in the middle of the river, when they would start lunch, then he would start strong preaching. Now the person cannot escape anywhere. he has to hear the philosophy. So very, very emphatic. He would preach to all the dignitaries. When he would travel sometime from Mayapur to Jagannath Puri in the train. And when the news would spread that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is traveling, so at many stations the train would stop, and inevitably train would get delayed, because every station people would come to greet him and garland him, and standing at the door of the bogie of the train, he would give a lecture for half an hour. So that was his preaching spirit. He would not leave even single moment unutilized. The Avyartha Kalatvam, the quality for pure devotee, he utilizes every moment for service of Krishna, for glorifying Krishna. I was reading yesterday a few instructions of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He said that as long as there is Pran Achajar Shehetu Prachar, the famous Pran Achajar Shehetu Prachar, whoever has life will preach. A dead body cannot preach. That means even if you have little bit ability to breathe also, little bit ability to speak, we should preach. We must preach. Pran Achajar, whoever has life will preach. And he himself exemplified in his life, Srila Prabhupada also exemplified in his life, that the last breath, he was just translating books. He was preaching, making arrangements. The preaching spirit. And at one point of time, all the intelligent class of people were his disciples. And once the freedom fighters, the patriots came, and they were begging that, please, you have captured all the intelligent people of the society in your matha. So release some of them for freedom fighting for the nation. Yes, and he told that they are all lean and thin. You see, all they are lean and thin, doing all austerities. How can they fight against anybody? He somehow made arrangement. Once Mohandas Karamchand Gandhiji, because it was a drought time, so, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had arranged grains and rice and ghee in the matha for the service of Shri Radha Krishna. So Mohandas Karamchand Gandhiji came, and he was leading a protest in front of the matha that release all these things. In the midst of this thing, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur came after 2 days of protest, and he said very strongly that all the grains, all the assets, all the ghee in the world is meant for the service of and glorifying Radha and Krishna. And then he said that all the ghee in the world is meant for lighting the lamp and doing arti of Krishna, not for somebody's charkha. So it was a very strong statement, and the whole protest subsided. Of course, when needed. And he would speak strongly. But in the heart, he was very humble. Like when he would enter from the gate of Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math to the temple, to the quarters, it would take so much long time, because any disciple would offer him obeisances, he would offer obeisances back as a sannyasi also. And he would always say, Dasosmi, I am your das, I am your servant. So very strong in preaching, at the same time very humble at the heart. When he was doing Brajamandal Parikrama, sometime, because he was preaching so strongly, he was making all kinds of people, training them to the level of Brahmana, elevating first and then giving them Brahmana initiation, which is the verdict of all the Shastras by Guna and Karma. So he was doing that, but people had very strong opposition. And seeing this opposition, sometime there were threats. So once there was conspiracy that some people gathered together and wanted to kill Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. They would sometimes throw stones at Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And once they wanted to kill Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So the police came and told that generally we don't take bribe, but in case of a sadhu, because they want to kill you, we are coming and giving you warning that they have a plan, they have a plot to kill you. Please be careful. And then once when this was happening, some of the people who were opposing the Vyasadeva Goswamis, they started throwing stones. They were badly attacking. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had to run away from there. And one of his disciple, he exchanged white clothes with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur just to make his identity concealed. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur ran away. So that should be the preaching spirit we should have. Whatever happens, prana ache jar shehetu prachar. And for us, it is made so easy. It is so easy. We don't have to do anything. Prabhupada has already established the brand name of ISKCON. People just see devotee and then they respect us. It's nothing like we have to establish the new thing. Already things are set. Especially in this place, Hyderabad, it's so easy. We just go and giving books, and people upfrontly call us and take books. It's so easy. So we should also continue in the same spirit to preach, to take all the austerities. The famous pastimes of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in meeting Madan Mohan Malaviya. Madan Mohan Malviya, the Vice Chancellor of Banaras Hindu University, when he came to meet Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur to get some questions answered, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that I'm busy, tell him to polish the deity paraphernalia. My disciples are doing so please go and help them. So he was polishing the deity paraphernalia, arti plates, etc. And after some time when he came, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati asked him that, do you have some questions? He said, no, all my questions are answered. So by doing seva, all the questions are answered. We hear the famous shloka, tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena seva upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshanaha. So we hear generally that we surrender to the spiritual master, serve the spiritual master and inquire. But I was hearing, recently I heard an interesting insight to this shloka. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that when we surrender to the spiritual master and when we serve him, by doing this we get proper intelligence to ask meaningful and pertinent questions. It's not just asking any question. When we do seva, surrendering to the spiritual master, then we get the intelligence to ask right, pertinent, meaningful questions. Oftentimes we just think that asking any intellectual questions or manager, it is part of the seva, then it has to be asked. But sometimes we just ask that, no, this is not answered, I will not do this. If this is not done, I will not do this. But the question is, have I done sufficient seva by which I get proper intelligence? If we do sufficient seva properly, then Krishna will give us intelligence to ask the questions. And oftentimes Prabhupada's disciples share their experience that I had very strong pressing question in my mind. I went in front of Prabhupada and the question was just answered. I had so much anxiety. I went in front of Prabhupada and the anxiety was concerned about so many things in the world. Okay, this is not happening, that is not happening. In the movement, this is not happening, that is not happening. But our anxiety, my anxiety should be, how can I chant my rounds nicely properly? How can I focus on my seva properly? If that happens properly, then Krishna will give intelligence to take care of other things also. If it is a part of seva, then it's a different thing. But our focus should be this: how can I chant my rounds nicely? And how can I focus on my seva given nicely? And when we are given that seva, that is a different thing. We have to sort out and be concerned about different things. But surrender to the acharyas, to spiritual master. Yesterday we were reading these instructions. One of the instructions Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave was, we are not performers, or we are not we are not interested in debates or intellectual presentations or mental speculations or karma kanda or yogic processes. We are just the shoe carriers of the messengers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are shoe carriers of messengers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the mood such acharyas have. Another instruction he had, that we have not come to the material world to become the carpenters or the engineers or expert performers. The human life is very short. Let us talk to the lotus feet of Sri Hari and glorify him as much possible. Then the human life will be crowned with jewel, crowned with success. Another instruction he gave was, the human life will be crowned with success if the body wears out glorifying the topics of Sri Hari. We are just speaking Harikatha, and while speaking Harikatha, body wears out. We breathe last. That is success of human form of life. So, goal is this, but mood in the heart is that I am shoe carrier. We have to remember, I am the shoe carrier. We are shoe carriers of messengers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, followers of Sri Rupa Goswami. We are shoe carriers of such personalities. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also established lotus footprints of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at 108 places. We went to Srirangam also, right in front of the Gopuram. There is lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like this, many places we see the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He had very, very strong faith in the holy name. Of the 108 essential instructions, the first one is Param Vijete Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Let there be glory, let there be victory of the Sankirtan. He had many sannyasi disciples. He would arrange Shastrik courses and the exam on the Shastrik courses. And when the sannyasi disciples would write the exams of Shastrik courses, the answer sheets would be collected and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would give the answer sheets to the cook for checking. And the criteria was how many times he has mentioned the names of Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That many marks given. That is so strong faith in the holy name. And in those instructions also, every day he has mentioned that so much of Harinam Sankirtan should be performed. One instruction he mentioned was In the ultimate meditation is on Krishna. In Satyuga, the process was Kritaya Dhyayata Vishnu Tridayam Yajatomakai. In Satyuga, the process was meditating on Lord Vishnu. But then it was not possible. There were discrepancies on meditating on Lord Vishnu. So in Treta Yuga, the sacrifices were introduced. Yajna Vidhi. But again, the purity was not maintained. Some discrepancies entered in the sacrifices also. So in Dwapar Yuga, then temple worship was introduced. But eventually in Dwapar Yuga, at the end of Dwapar Yuga, the discrepancies entered worship of the deities also. So ultimately, the most powerful, most potent method of spirituality was introduced in the Kali Yuga, that is Harinam Sankirtan. And then he gives example, just like sometimes the patient is too sick, critically sick, then the most potent drug is injected. Similarly, we in Kali Yuga are very, very vulnerable, very, very sick, severely sick. So the most potent method is given, that is Harinam Sankirtan. Nam Nam Akari Bhautani Sarva Shaktis. All the potencies of Krishna are invested. Krishna has given all his energies in Harinam. So very strong faith on the holy name. So we should also have that strong faith. Whatever happens, we should do Harinam Sankirtan. Every evening, it's rare that every devotee every day goes for Harinam Sankirtan. One of the very few temples. Not proud, but very happy to see that every day Sankirtan goes out from here every evening. Not many temples are doing that. So when we go out also, we should remember such acharyas like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the stalwarts of Shastras, topmost of the astrologers, whatever you say, they emphasized on chanting of the holy names, outdoor Sankirtan. So every day, whatever happens, we should go out, outdoor Sankirtan. And when we are doing the outdoor Sankirtan also, we should not just casual, we should contemplate what I am doing. I am given this privilege to be part of this Sankirtan. This is top essence of all the Shastras. Nam Sankirtan Yajna Sarva Papranashanam. Just by doing Nam Sankirtan, all the miseries are finished. Bhagavatam, last shloka. We should contemplate what a great fortune I have got. And we can observe how people outside, they get so much touched. Yeah. 2 days back, we were in traveling Sankirtan and we met somebody. He was not in a proper state. He was drunk. And he called us. And then before the Harinam Sankirtan reached there, he was making all the caricatures and he was making all the gestures. But as we reached there, he started folding hands. And then I showed Gita, he was touching his hands and he was saying, Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna. He was speaking all this. Harinam Sankirtan, just by hearing, it changes people's consciousness. We were in Prayagraj, not Prayagraj, Haridwar, last year, a couple of years back. Then we saw there was one drunk person who just come every day and who just stand there and observe us. Next day we came, he started moving his head a little bit. Third day we came and he was moving his hands also a little bit. So Harinam Sankirtan changes people's life. So strong emphasis on Harinam Sankirtan, faith on the previous acharyas. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also had strong faith in previous acharyas. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada had strong faith in the acharyas, including his spiritual master. Prabhupada said that our only business is just go on glorifying the previous acharyas and everything will happen automatically. Even the preaching will happen automatically. Just go on glorifying the previous acharyas. So strong faith in the previous acharyas, strong faith in the holy name. And similarly, he was emphasizing so much on the books every time. Even sometimes some disciple would go and sell just one magazine, he would become so happy that he has done something meaningful. And Prabhupada imbibed the same mood. Prabhupada also would ask, how was the program? And anybody would say that Prabhupada, thousands of people came. But Prabhupada would ask how many books went. Thousands of people, no books. Prabhupada said it was failure. But few people came, but books went, yes, Prabhupada would say success. So, and people, I recently, one month back, I heard in Juhu, the devotee who puts a stall at our Rajarsi Bihari Mandir, he was telling me, Prabhuji, Prabhupada's books go magically, miraculously. Prabhupada is distributing his books himself. And I said, yeah, Prabhuji, true. He said, no, literally Prabhupada is distributing books. How? He told me an incident. That he was standing at the bookstall and one boy came running. And he told that, Prabhupada ji ka, he did not say Prabhupada ji ka. He says, Gita hai, Bhagavad Gita hai aapke paas? Bhagavad Gita hai, haan. तो आगे पीछे मुड़ के देखा, हाँ यही गीता चाहिए, प्रभुपाद जी का फोटो था पीछे. I want the same Gita. He said, why you are so much in hurry? What happened? He said, I was in so much anxiety since so many days. And last night one Babaji came in my dream. And he told me that Andheri mein, you go to Juhu, uske paas there's an ISKCON mandir. Go to Hare Krishna mandir and I have written a book, go and buy that. He has never visited ISKCON, he doesn't know about Prabhupada, doesn't know about ISKCON. And told me he came, and then the devotee told that Prabhupada is sitting there, go and pay obeisances. And he went and very, very respectfully, very reverentially he paid obeisances. Even now it's happening. Prabhupada is personally supervising this movement. Whatever things are happening, fine. We just focus on how can I fulfill Prabhupada's instructions. I can focus on put my best. Likewise, things are just happening in Prabhupada books. People are waiting. I was going from here to Hyderabad in the train. So I had carried 2 Bhagavad Gita. I gave one English Gita to somebody and one Telugu Krishna was there. I was thinking whom to give. I had some things to do. So I was busy. But 8:45 at night, one person was constantly standing and looking at me. Before that, he came to try to talk to me also. But then again went back. Then I just thought that just let me try. I went and I was just talking 10 minutes. I was talking. And then he was constantly looking at the book. I was not giving the book. And after 10 minutes, I gave him the book in hand. And just told, this is for you and for your daughter. Kids were playing around. So, and when again a talk ended and he told me I want to share something. He said last month, September month, I went to Dwarka and I had a very strong feeling there. And since then I wanted to buy Gita from ISKCON. And I ordered also online. But some issues happened. The order got cancelled. And since the time you came to the train, I am seeing this book in your hand. I came to you, I tried to talk to you also, but I felt shy and I went away. And then he said, Krishna has fulfilled my desire. So like this, people are waiting for Prabhupada's books. We just have to go out enthusiastically, just go out and be there. Oftentimes we have seen that somebody just comes and say, Mujhe 100 Gita chahiye. So you have to just go and be there out. Take Prabhupada books and go out. People will buy books. Prabhupada books are so powerful, so potent. We heard this incident. There was one person working in the ships, marine engineer. So he was traveling from Sydney to Russia. So he met some devotees in Sydney, Australia, and devotees were very enthusiastic and pushed him a Bhagavad Gita, a small book. So this man took the book in the ship. On the voyage, he read this book for some time. And then when he reached London, which was intermittent stop, he was very strongly impressed and inspired. He went and he searched the local ISKCON temple in London. And then he bought a Bhagavad Gita and many more books. And he started reading very eagerly. And by the time he reached Russia, his hometown, he was convinced that I want to join. And he stepped on the land with the conviction that I want to join ISKCON. Went to ISKCON temple and joined. So Prabhupada books are so powerful. They're just making miracles. So our efforts also should be same. That whatever acharyas desire, we should put our best to fulfill the desire of our acharyas. And that is success of life. And for that, whatever austerity we need to do can be taken, must be taken. To the extent, Prabhupada also said that marathon means less eating, less sleeping. We should put our best energy. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakura said that eat mud but preach. Of course, in our case, in traveling Sankirtan Vadi, we don't need to do that. It's an everyday elaborate feast. But our mood should be this, that whatever happens, let me set aside my own bodily comfort or convenience. Mind will say, body is paining, this is happening, that is happening, legs are paining, head is paining. But assured, if we go out, take a step and go out, all the sickness vanishes. Many devotees have shared with me a critical sickness. They said, Prabhuji, I go to the bus party and no sickness troubles me. I come back to the temple, all the sickness comes back. So health issues, who doesn't have health issues? Everybody has health issues. Material body with health issues. But despite of that, we should just go out. Just be in the field. And automatically this inspiration will come. We should go out of the convenience, personal comfort. Let us be sacrificed in the sacrifice. Let us be sacrificed in the sacrifice of Sankirtan. On such days, we should pray to such great acharyas that whatever devotion they had, whatever seva bhav they had, whatever humanity had, all the good qualities they had, please give us a tinge of that, so that with that mood we can do seva in the seva bhav, in the mood of a servant. So much to mention about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Hare Krishna. Any question? Yes, last three instructions I forgot to mention. Gaur Krishnadas Babaji, Srila Gaur Krishnadas Babaji gave 3 instructions to Bhaktisiddhanta, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Never go to Maya Nagari called Kolkata. Never accept disciples and never associate with anybody. And apparently Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur apparently violated all 3. But he said that I never went to Maya Nagari called Kolkata, though he had Gaudiya Math. He said that I just went to Gaudiya Math and stayed there. And which Gaudiya Math is not different from Vaikuntha. This is not part of the material world. Then you said that never accept disciples. I never accepted disciples. They were all the representatives of my spiritual master sent by them, and I was serving them by training them to serve Krishna better. Never associate with anybody. He said that I never took anybody's association. I would give association to others. When we hear from others, learn their lifestyle, that is taking association. But giving association means we give our lifestyles, philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to others. Oftentimes he would go and, yesterday we were discussing, Bhavaprabhu was saying that when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur went to northeast, Manipur and such places, he would do such intense austerities. Sometimes 3-4 days he would not eat anything, just fasting and preaching. Not to speak of anything, eating anything outside. He would not just eat anything, just intense austerities and keep preaching. So he never took anybody's association, but he gave his association to all the devotees. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Vaishnavism, starting from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu itself, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, Prabhupada ji, even today, facing a lot of challenges, especially from where it originated. It is spread across the world, but compared to the other religion, of course, Vaishnavism is not a religion. It is facing a lot of challenges. Always there is a movement. We are trying to preach, we are trying to spread this message, but challenges we keep encountering, especially from those regions where this mission was started.
So what is the question?
I mean, why it is like this? Why the message is not going and people are becoming a good human, be religious and living in the harmony?
Prabhupada said that opposition is a sign of progress. Our movement is being recognized now. And there are people who will always have trouble. Even at the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there was opposition. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to do torch protest, Sankirtan protest. But things eventually subsided. Srila Prabhupada times also there were problems. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur time also there were problems. But eventually, they are meant to make us more strong in our bhakti, more desperate to serve Krishna, and to make us realize also that attaining path of Krishna is not easy. I heard somewhere, I do not recall the origin who said this. The path of Krishna consciousness, path of spirituality is not laid with roses. It is laid with thorns and pebbles. Because if things are just given easily, we don't value it. But when we get some struggle to reach that, then we will value it. We will take it more seriously. Like if it's in Russia, when Prabhupada visited Russia once, the strong opposition, communism, and then what all devotees have done. There is that book, Salted Bread. What all devotees have done. Devotees give up their life. When the bread was given with non-veg, they would not eat anything. Even bread they would not eat. They would make beads out of it and chant on that. Such a great struggle. But result of that is, in Russia, devotees are so strong. So strong. One of the most rapidly progressing countries for Krishna consciousness is Russia. In terms of the rate of number of increasing the number of devotees in Russia. So problems come, they will subside also. It's part of material world. But what we should learn from that is how horrible is the material world. Let me get out of this. Or rather, I heard somewhere that Someone asked that, what will you going back to Krishna? And somebody said that we'll go back to Krishna, pay obeisances, and ask for sufficient strength and come back to the material world to preach more. So, one Prabhupada disciple, he told that I don't agree that Prabhupada went back to Godhead. I just cannot think that Prabhupada went back to Godhead. Prabhupada must have gone to some other planet for preaching. Prabhupada cannot just see the sufferings of other conditioned living entities. So, troubles are there, but we are there just to suffer so that we can preach more. We hear that pastime when Prabhupada was in Vrindavan. In the last days, Prabhupada was suffering so much, sick apparently, apparent suffering. One South Indian scholar came and he came taking a flight those days, and then he was expressing his concern with Prabhupada. He was arguing Prabhupada, almost 2 hours strong argument, debate went, and then he came out and then he was crying. Then one disciple asked him what was the discussion, and then he wanted to convince Prabhupada. He knew Shastras and he knew that if the Acharya is living in the self-same body and his deity is established in the altar, anybody who pays obeisance to the Acharya, all the sins of that person goes to the Acharya. And he was saying that Prabhupada has established his deity in Vrindavan, in Gaur altar, when he's alive. So he was concerned that Prabhupada is getting sins of all the people. Already Prabhupada is sick and Prabhupada is getting more sins from all these people. So he came taking a flight to express Prabhupada, please don't do this. Remove your duty from there. You can live longer and preach more. You can serve more. And Prabhupada was strongly, and then ultimately this man came out and he told what Prabhupada replied. Prabhupada replied that what can we do? This is our business. We are supposed to suffer on behalf of the living entities, conditioned living entities. And then he told that your spiritual master is not an ordinary Acharya. So, of course, we should be a little intelligent also, dealing with things in a practical way, not to, as they say, not to purchase anxiety and problems unnecessarily. But when situations come, we just tolerate, go ahead, things will eventually dissipate, and the truth will always prevail. Satyam eva jayate, at least for 10,000 years. Then what happens, don't know. So, such problems will come, opposition will come. We keep going further, growing stronger, and remembering Krishna all the time. And Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha tuhara, nitya dasa prati tuadhikara. Krishna, whatever you desire, it is up to you. We are soul surrendered to you. We have all the adhikar to whatever you want to do to me. Maro bhi rakho bhi, you want to make me, keep me alive, you want to kill me, whatever you wish, it's up to you. We can develop that desire when we associate with such acharyas. Hare Krishna. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnavavrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. So today there will be a schedule of, we'll be having Pushpanjali at 12:20. 12:20 will Pushpanjali, and there will be Aarti, and there will be Prasadam for everybody. Hare Krishna.